And so if we have no limit how far we go backwards, and this is what I was trying to say a few moments ago, if there's no limit on how far we go backwards, an infinite number of causes going backwards, then there's no beginning. Philosophically, if there's an infinite number of causes going back in time, then there's no beginning. And if there's no beginning, there could not be a now. So it's a contradiction philosophically. I hope I'm explaining this well enough for you to get something out of it. With God, we say he's uncaused. No one brought him into existence. But he never brought himself into existence either. There was not a time when there was no God, and then this nothing God brought himself into existence. That is unreasonable. It is impossible. So with God, we have to say he is self-existent. Uncaused cause. A cause of all other things that wasn't caused himself. And he doesn't have existence because he wasn't given existence. He is existence. Do you see the difference? It took me about 20 years to understand the difference. But I want you to understand it tonight. You have existence. Of course, I see you. Well, there's some philosophies that are so sceptical they deny even that, but we won't go to that. That verges on madness. All right? You have existence, but you were given existence. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? 20. Well, 25 years ago, you didn't exist. So 25 years ago, you were not existence because you didn't exist. You were given existence. You have existence now, but you were given it. Since God exists, but he wasn't given existence because he's uncaused, then he must be existence. Do you see the difference? I want to see some heads nodding here. Good. I hope so. Don't just nod your heads to please me. Let's say that again. It's always good. I'm sorry for treating you like a classroom. But if God exists, but he wasn't given existence, because if he was given existence, he would be a creature. And whoever gave him existence would be the creator, not God. So since he exists and he wasn't given existence, he is existence. There's a big difference there. That's the difference between God and us. We exist, but he is existence. And there are many other differences too. We don't have time to elaborate on all of them. Being a creature, you have limitations. Being the creator, he cannot have limitations. If he's God, if he's infinite and eternal, he cannot have limitations. All right. Now, this idea of God being existence rather than having existence or being given existence, God tried to explain that to Moses. Now, let's go back 35 centuries ago. People really didn't have much of an education. Moses had an above-average education because he spent the first 40 years of his life in the Egyptian court. So he knew more than the average Hebrew or Egyptian or anyone else in the world at the time. So when God's speaking to him and then through him to the Hebrews, and this is what we call revelation, God has to do it in a language that could be understood by a very primitive and ignorant people. And I say that with respect. I'm not saying the Hebrews were ignorant. They were more intelligent than others at the time, but in general they were ignorant by modern standards. When Moses asked God, "Who am I to say has sent me?" when he goes back into Egypt and attempts to assume leadership of the Hebrews to pull them out of the slavery of Egypt, I need credibility. Who sent me? God gives his name. I am. I am who am. Tell them I am has sent you. See the words there? I am. I am who am. And those 4 words in Hebrew, you take the first letter of those 4 words in Hebrew and you form another word. It's called an acronym. Another word. And that becomes the name of God, the sacred name of God for the Hebrews, Yahweh. It's probably Yahweh. We don't know for certain because the Hebrew language didn't have vowels, only has consonants. So we don't know if it was Yahweh or Yowo or Yiwi or Yahweh, or it's probably Yahweh, right? So, but the point I'm trying to make here is that God gives Moses a name which isn't a nice, sweet, comfortable name like Jesus gives us for God, the Father, a familial name. God gives himself a name, or gives a name of himself to Moses. This is a very philosophical name. I am. Which is, I am existence. I am the one who is. I am is. I am existence. It's hard to get our heads around this, isn't it? But it's certainly true. Existence. The one who is has sent you. All right? We'll just have a pause at this moment. Any questions or responses to that? Don't be disheartened if you find that a little bit difficult. I sat in philosophy classes for many years